If you look in the files of Portal, you might realize there's a chamber missing. It goes 11 and then 13. Why is this? If we want to figure out what test chamber this is, we need to gather what we know before we can make any assumptions. So this is what we know. We know that it was cut late in development, otherwise it wouldn't be 11, 13, it'd be 11, 12. And yeah, that's it. But do you remember this? This is from Portal, and it's the only orb in the game that is green. And the only difference between the yellow one and the green one is that the green one bounces forever and never breaks. But do you remember the introduction? Oh yeah, that's right, I never got one. If we want more information, then we're gonna have to go back to some very early bits of Portal on the internet. So I watched the first Portal trailer, which was luckily archived by Game Helper. I looked through it all and I couldn't really find anything. The only thing I managed to find was this. But that was definitely just a beta test map or whatever. I don't think it was a test chamber. But a while ago, some Portal beta maps leaked. So I decided to go through them and see if any of them could have been this test chamber with a green orb in it. And, well, this is a scrapped Portal test chamber and it includes the green orb. And I assume that this is the introduction to it, as you can clearly see it never disappears. This has a cube in it and it's already on the button, which is strange. So I think the entire goal of the test chamber was to avoid the green orbs, get the cube off the button, and then that would open that door that I just tried to open. Unfortunately, though, this is never finished, so I don't know if that's right or not. And you might be thinking, this seems like an awful short test chamber. Well, I think that's because it was never finished. It was something like chamber 15, where it's like a bunch of those put together. If this was test chamber 17, that would mean that the actual test chamber 17 in the game would instead be test chamber 18, and so on. This would make test chamber 19 test chamber 20. This is where the video was going to end, but I realized it was kind of short. So I decided to decompile the map of the level I just showed you and, kind of tweak it so it looks a bit more portally. So I opened up Hammer, I decompiled the map, and then I started swapping all the textures. You can see me do that there now. I recorded the entire thing. And although I got most of them, the only texture I couldn't figure out how to change was the grate that you have to shoot the portal through. I don't really know much about this version of Hammer, so I wasn't able to get the button working since I'm used to the Portal 2 version. So I loaded into it, and you can see, I think it looks a lot better now. I apologize that it's a bit laggy. My laptop isn't used to this. I just noticed that there's a light in the corner there. As you can see, I also removed the door. There's nothing in there. But one thing I will say though is I'm pretty sure that someone else could do a way better job than me. I just retextured about like what 3 things, and I think that would look cool. But if the answer to that question does lie somewhere, it's on a developer's hard drive.